Hi everyone, it's Fridaysews. Hi everyone, I'm Hales and welcome to my channel. Today it's Fridaysews and it's the hashtag started up by Jen at Today in Jen's Sewing Room, and it's where I just catch up on what I've been doing during the week and plans and bits and pieces about all sorts of things. Now if you've been following my channel recently, you'll know that I am on a journey to have trousers, to fit them, and I've been trying this on and off for a few years now, from the Ultimate, so over at Ultimate Trousers to Zooty to Birder to where else, Arden pants. Anyway, these pants or trousers, I would call them trousers here in the UK, and they are the Acajou, which is the Deer Doe pattern, which I showed in my previous Fridaysews video, which is a cocoon shaped trouser. So it is designed so it goes out at the hips, which I didn't want, but I thought that would give me plenty of room and then I could just slim the legs down. Well, if you've been following my stories over on Instagram, with my handle across the bottom, you'll know that things are not very straightforward. And if you're someone who can make trousers straight out of the packet, then well done you. If you're anyone with curves or a tummy or a bottom or hips or something like that, which you don't look like the model on the packet or the design, then you're going to have to make alterations, and I made a lot. I will link all my previous episodes down below so I don't repeat myself. So if you want to check that out, they're very short videos, but that will show you trying on, fitting, and then the adjustments, and then how that affects. So when you make trousers, if you make one adjustment somewhere, there's like a knock-on effect of then that causes an issue somewhere else. But I thought these would be good because it has fly front, so they're nice and flat at the stomach. So a lot of trousers now are fully elasticated, and I just don't like that gathering of the elastic around at my tummy, and I don't like loads of elastic at the back. So with the Emerson pants, which are like a pull-on trouser, I have to have them because I've got like the 10-inch difference between like my waist and my hips. I'll show you. I don't know, you say that's hourglass, so this here. So it's like 10 inches between here and here. So when you have a pull-on pant, that waist needs to be cut bigger so you can pull it up over your hips, but then all that fabric has to then gather back in so it fits your waist. And if they're just elastic at the back, you end up with loads of bulk at the back because all that gathering's had to go in the back of it. So I thought, and I do have some trousers for work, which they're not like trendy, they're not like casual wear that you would wear out and about, but they're more like office wear, and they have a fly front and elastic at the back, but the fit's not that great, but they're okay for work, but not casual wise. So they're not the kind of trousers where I would just draw around them and just make another pair, and then obviously fabric has a different it makes a difference as well in making them trousers. But I wanted something a bit more, say, stylish, or something just more casual, and you could wear with trainers and things, not look like you've stepped out of the office and then you're like wearing half casual, half smart. So that is my reason for looking for a pattern. No ready-wear trousers really fit me that great because usually they're too long in the crotch, and then if I get from the petite range, they're too short in the leg. So I'm 5'3". I don't know what that is in metrics, but I'm 5'3", and I am short-waisted. My inside leg, I would say, is probably about 29 inches. So even like ready-to-wear jeans, I have to buy the short range, and even then they can be long in the crotch. So it's just a bit of a nightmare trying to get trousers, jeans, anything like that. I'm not going to attempt to make my own jeans, not after this saga, but I would like to make trousers. Now this pattern is a new pattern, so there aren't really many reviews. Some of the photos I've seen on Instagram, the legs are so wide, they're huge, but everyone just sort of says, well, I'll size down next time, or they're taking this is what annoys me. When people take photos, let me just move my chair out of the way. So when people take a photo, whether that be a pattern designer, I'm sorry, this is going to be a slight rant now, pattern designer that's on Instagram, when they take a picture of someone wearing trousers like that, that's not helpful. I need to know what the trousers look like that, and then what do the trousers look like standing straight at the back, so I can see how they're supposed to hang, how they're drafted, to know whether I'm making them in the right way around or not. So having poses like that, or like this, or that kind of thing, doesn't help me because I can't, and I have looked on the Fold Lines website because they have loads of indie designer for trousers and things, and there are loads like that where you can't really see the proper, like, just stand there. I know it's not like a classic model pose and it's not very, you know, aesthetically pleasing, but that's what I need to know when I want to make the trousers. So anyway, if you want to know what I thought of this, that's what I thought of that. I will now put these on and you'll see why I felt like that. Okay, I've got them on. Oh, this is a ready to wear t-shirt. It's just what I was wearing this morning. So I've tucked it in. Now the zip I had on, I bought to make a bag with actually. So it's not a trouser zip. So it's one of them ones you buy on the roll by the meter, and then you cut the length and then you add the zip pull, and then you just have to, I used some embroidery thread in the end to knot off the top and the bottom of the zip, because when I made my last toile, I pulled them up and normal thread didn't stop the zip, so it came off completely, and then you have to attach it from like the bottom, otherwise the zip separates the wrong way around. Anyway, so that's why I pinned in my last try on. So these here, I have shortened them by 1 inch at the front crotch, and I added, I think, 1/2 inch of rise to the back because I thought that they were dipping slightly. Oh, battery's flashing, let me just change it. So these are, so I've taken 1 inch out of the front crotch. I added, I think, about 1/2 inch to the back rise because I felt that they were like dipping down slightly. I will put a photo in of what they looked like. They were too tight here, like on the back, they were just too tight, so I thought I needed to add width. But as you can see from the front, actually the crotch is fine. Oh, and the zip, oh yeah, I was telling you about the zip. Because the zip is on a roll, it's quite a chunky zip, so the tab of it is kind of like sitting out, and I think that's because it's just too wide for these trousers. It's just because that's what I had on hand. So apart from the zip thing, they actually look fine from the front. Now they have a centre seam going all the way down, which I did move around by adding to the inside seam because I felt that it was twisting to the inside, which I believe is because I have full thighs is the technical term. So by adding to the inside seam, it then straightened out the seam. I'll be honest with you, when I walk in them, I can feel the seam down my leg and it feels like it's twisting to the inside, even though I have changed it. So yes, so that is issue number 1. The main issue is the back. I had so much problem with excess fabric at the back of the legs, and then trying to get rid of that. Then they were too tight on the hip, so I've added at the back only because the front didn't need any width adding to it. So I added at the hip, but I think perhaps I added too much, but I will turn around so you can see what the issue is. Hopefully you can see that in all its glory and how that is like that. And I do have a sway back, so I'm guessing that I would need to take that out, but because you have to top stitch the crotch, so you sew the crotch seam and then you have to top stitch it all, that seam is like enclosed, so you can't then just pinch a bit out. You'd have to unpick all the top stitching and then try and take in a bit of the centre back, but then it's too late. So I have all this going on, and then it's all, let me step forward a bit. So under here, under my bum, all down the legs, there's excess, and here, and it's just like, I just think it looks like the worst thing ever. And I mean, I think the seam's slightly twisting, pulling towards the back. Like I said, front is okay. I'll tilt down so you can see me a bit better. So here they are. So from the front, oh, and the pockets, actually, pockets go down, let's see, look. Pockets go to here. On the pattern, I took 2 inches off the pattern, they go to there. I mean, who has arms that long? Maybe like an orangutan or something, I don't know. But I certainly don't have arms that long. So from here, you can already see. I mean, I've slimmed these legs down and down and down and down so much. They just look absolutely hideous, like saggy, and just all this excess here and excess here. I haven't hemmed them, I didn't bother. These are just in a black cotton, but I do have good news. I was so fed up of making these trousers, and made me feel a bit down. I was just like, why do these not fit? Why are they tight on some places, baggy on other places. Have I cut the wrong size? Like, what's going on? I like deepened out the back crotch curve, that's helped a bit, but it's just not great. And I hate it because sewing is supposed to make us feel good. If we can't buy the clothes that we want to fit us from the shops, we should be able to make them. And it has made me really aware also, if you are a larger person who is out of a size range, like, why are you out of a size range? Surely that if you're a larger person, you want to make clothes because you can't get nice clothes in the shops, so you want to be able to make your own. Yet a lot of the pattern designers are coming out with sizes which are exclusive to smaller sizes. And let me just retrieve that pattern. This is case in point. Because I showed you all in a previous Fridaysews video that I bought this. I bought 2 more Deer Doe patterns. I didn't check their sizing because I've never been the top size. I mean, I have put on a little bit of weight over the last year, haven't we all? But the finished measurement for the waist, the top waist for these trousers, bearing in mind they have elastic at the back, so a lot of people would choose them because they have elastic at the back because they probably have fluctuating weight. The biggest waist finished measurement is 35 and I can't quite read it, 3/8. 35 and 3/8 inches. That is the finished size of a waist. And the hip finished measurement of 47 and a quarter inches. That is the biggest they do, fully fitted with the ease in, for hip and for waist. Well, currently my waist is 34 inches and this goes 35 and a bit. So that gives me 1 inch of excess, like 1 inch of ease. So I've had to grade up. Why Deer Doe? I will be emailing them, by the way. Why Deer Doe? Well, are you advertising the fact that your company are designed for people with larger hips and more like the traditional, what they call pear-shaped? Yeah, you're not really. You're designing them for people with really slim waists who perhaps have a bigger hip than their hip to waist ratio on a regular pattern. Why am I being made to feel like I'm plus size because of your pattern sizing? Right. I've calmed down now, I'm back. The good news is that I looked through I sacked it on those ones, I'm not making them anymore, but I looked through my Instagram and I had a scroll back and I found a selfie I'd taken of me fitting some trousers. I mean, or it was on my phone, I think. I've got lots of photos on my phone of fitting trousers over the years, but this was from Birder Style 7058. And when I looked at the photo, I'll pop it in here, I thought actually they're not too bad. When I made them, I didn't really know much about fitting and I made them up in a cotton which didn't have any stretch, but I think made up in a stretched cotton, they are more like what I would want. So I had some cotton fabric which I'd made the other pair up in, I bought from Pound Fabrics. So I had a little bit left over but not enough to cut a full leg. So let me pan down. So excuse the socks and the sort of sailor outfit, but I don't think these are too bad. Now with these, they have a side zip and it doesn't have a waistband, it has facing, but I'm thinking of, and because they're dipping down at the front, raising that up so it sits straight on me and then adding a waistband to make them high-waisted, possibly moving the side zip to the front, and then having some belt loops on and making them into more traditional trousers so I can have pockets, because I really like to have a pocket in a trouser. But so I have taken, these are just kind of pinned, an inch out of the front crotch length, so I think that's fine. And I scooped out, so I took the deeper curve on the back. Now I'm trying to see if you get it, let me go this way around. So as you can see, they are like wrinkled and I'm like, oh, well, that's the excess fabric. But look what happens when I pull it up. That wrinkling smooths out. So I think that if I did a full seat adjustment, because I think here, there's excess and I think that that's where my backside should be sitting. So I think that should be on, but I can't get them up any higher. But when I sort of force them up, all that wrinkling goes. So I figured, a bit of playing around, I'll just show you what they look like from the back. They have, so they have darts at the front and darts at the back. And this is what it currently looks like at the back. I have taken a bit extra out of here, which looks a mess because I have literally just added that bit off, or taken that bit off on my sewing machine after I'd sewed the seam, but to make room for my suede back because it was sticking out. So that's sitting in more, but obviously that whole seam is a bit messed up. But I don't think they look too bad, but obviously with that, pull that up to like straighten it out. And I think, I am talking with my back to you because I can't see what I'm talking about, but I think that that excess then is eliminated when I pull it up at the back. So I think actually these trousers would be better as a block. Let me sit down. I think these trousers would work better as a trouser block than those awful Deer Doe ones, and they're certainly more flattering and like to the curve of me. So I think any kind of elasticated waist is just out of the equation. But I think if I made these in a stretch cotton, that will then give me the sort of ease that I need. And I did order some stretch cotton from Minerva for making the Acajou trousers, which I'm not going to do, but I can then try them with this. And it's only a two-piece trouser, but obviously if you want to make pockets then it's added extra and things. So I thought that was quite positive. I wanted to end this whole saga on a positive note. I was thinking about ordering the metric pattern cutting book for women's wear. Let me just sit back a bit, to see if I could you know, measure out and take all the exact measurements where I need to be to making trousers. But the trouble is, like when the Sure Fit Designs kit, you end up with they might fit fine around like your tummy and the crotch, but the legs are huge. On Sure Fit it was like making clown trousers. So then you have to slim them down, and then every time you slim them down it kind of affects the way that the trousers hang. Whereas with these Birder ones, they are designed as a slim trouser. So I think with the stretched cotton, that will give me enough ease. The belt loops will then, if they sort of like, if I feel them slipping down a bit, then having a belt on will just keep them up more. I mean, I could just add, I know Sew Over It, they haven't got a waistband, but they say to use your facing and do another facing and just flip it up and make that into a waistband. These do have a facing piece, so I could just do that with these, make that into a waistband, add some belt loops, and I could almost have a belt even though they have a side zip, but I would really like the pockets as well. I always document my makes on here and on Instagram, both the successes and the what they call fails, or the hit and miss, because I think that encourages people. I don't want people to think this is a negative channel and that I just moan about things not fitting right. I just like to be honest and not pretend that everything fits great, because I think if someone then buys a pattern based on my review and I've lied and pretended it's great and then it doesn't fit them, it can make them feel rubbish and think they've done something bad, and it's false advertising, and I'm not sponsored or paid, so what my opinion, I'll give you my opinion whether you want it or not, but I try to be as honest as I can and truthful. If a pattern is good, I will say it's good. If it's easy to do, if something has confusing instructions, I will say that. When I made the Sew Over It denim jacket last year, I really enjoyed it. It was really clear on the instructions, but there were 100 steps to make that in the instructions. So things like that, I will just let you know the details so you know what to expect if you want to buy the pattern after seeing that perhaps something I've made or someone similar has made that and you want a review. Guaranteed to get an honest opinion. It may not be one that you agree with, but I just tried to keep it to be truthful. Anyway, I feel like I've waffled on and on and on. I know you were probably just here to tune in to see what was going on with the trousers, so hopefully that has brought you all up to date. So it hasn't sort of finished, so I'm saying this is perhaps episode 5. It may continue on to episode 6 with the Birder trousers, but I will keep you in touch. Don't forget to check out all the other people who are doing the Fridaysews videos. If you look up the hashtag Fridaysews, you will see like Stephanie, who threw me last week by uploading her video twice. I had a sense of deja vu, but it was quite funny to watch. Kristen from the Darley Society, Jen, Sharon sews, there is more and more people who are joining in with the Friday sews. So search that hashtag Friday sews. You'll then see everybody who's joining in, and there's makers from all over the world. So hopefully you've enjoyed my little snippet of what's going on with me here in the UK this week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you again hopefully in a few days with an update of what I'm doing with my trousers. So thank you for watching. Please hit the thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you again next time.